What's happening, guys? It's Abhinav from Phone Bunch, and this is our unboxing and impressions after 2 days of use with the Galaxy S7. So folks, this is the box that the Galaxy S7 comes in. Now it's very similar to the one that we got the S7 Edge in, just a slightly smaller box. Now same specs here, but a smaller display with 5.1 inch Quad HD Super AMOLED display, the same brilliant 12 megapixel rear camera, IP68 rating for dust and water resistance is present here as well. Now let's open the box and see what exactly we get inside. So at the very top you have the Galaxy S7 in black onyx color. Then you have a quick start guide that you get within the box as well, SAR information, and you also get a quirky little SIM ejector tool. Next up, you have a USB connector. Now this is a USB OTG connector, so you can use any pen drive to connect to your Galaxy S7. You also get a fast charger within the box. The Galaxy S7 II supports Qualcomm Quick Charge 2.0 or near about. You can see the rating right there, 5 volts at 2 amp, 9 volts 1.67 amps. You also get a micro USB data syncing and charging cable. And last but not least, you get this headset within the box. These do sound quite alright and very comfortable to use as well. You also get volume control here. Now folks, let's get back to the Galaxy S7, and really looks brilliant. You can see that pearly shine there. Now it's an all metal and glass construction in the front and back. You have Corning Gorilla Glass 4 protection here as well. And Samsung has really refined its engineering process to create these new phones. These feel far better to hold in hand. And if we come to that build on the left, you'll find the volume buttons. Both are very easy to press, give great tactile response. You really feel that they are quite responsive. At the top, you'll find the SIM card slot. This is a hybrid SIM card slot, and yes, you can expand storage with a micro SD card as well. And you will also find the noise cancellation mic right there. On the right, you just have the power button, and you can see that curved glass at the top of the display, which again makes the display look very immersive and as if it doesn't have any bezels. Coming to the back, you have that 12 megapixel camera with dual pixel autofocus, which we'll detail in a short while. And the bottom is again very busy with the primary microphone, speaker, micro USB port, as well as the audio jack. Now this phone is water resistant even with open micro USB and audio ports. If we talk about in-hand feel, the back has been rounded a little bit, which does make a lot of difference in handling the device. Even though this is a smaller phone, the rounded edges do make it far easier to grip and hold. And it does give a sort of a unique appearance to the device, especially when light shine off it. Now coming to the top, you'll find a notification LED, proximity and light sensors, a 5 megapixel wide angle front facing camera, capacitive buttons flanking the home button which do light up, and the fingerprint sensor is also embedded within that home button. It's faster than before. Now this 5.1 inch display is really a pleasure to use. Wide viewing angles, spot on colors, and it's very vibrant. And let's come to the camera now. So excellent shutter speeds here. You can see that there's no lag whatsoever. There is a Pro mode available here as well. There's a separate food mode too. Now the Pro mode allows you to control shutter speed, ISO, white balance quite a lot. And the Pro mode might be more useful for enthusiasts. Even in the auto mode, this phone takes brilliant shots. You can record 4K videos, and if you were wondering, I've shot this entire video on the S7 Edge, so you can judge the camera quality yourself. The front facing camera also did a very good job here. And how fast can the Galaxy S7 focus? Just have a look. So the dual pixel autofocus technology uses all the pixels in the sensor to use as focusing pixels, and you can see it works in the blink of an eye. Brilliantly fast. And that can be said about the entire OS as well as the UI experience as well. I didn't notice any lag, and that's what you would expect from a flagship as well. TouchWiz has been toned down quite a lot, and the new avatar is really pleasing to look at. Moreover, it works really fluidly. Apps opened up quickly, there is no bloat installed, and because of that you get about 24 odd gigs of storage on the device out of the 32 gigs. And you can expand storage with a micro SD card, and USB OTG is also supported. Then there are some new additions like always on display, where you can show a calendar, or you can show a clock in different formats, or even just a static image just for the heck of it. Then there's the faster fingerprint sensor. It does take a little bit of time to set up, but once done, it is very swift. And it works every single time. It's very accurate as well. It's a 360-degree sensor, so you can place your finger any which ways and it's detected. And even if we talk about general performance, web browsing, the phone really blazes through on its Exynos 8890 processor. Moreover, there is 4 gigs of RAM on board, so multitasking is pretty good here as well. You can see that even after opening so many apps, Chrome is still kept in memory. Then there are neat additions like the multitasking or multi-window view, where you can use 2 apps simultaneously. So overall, it's a very pleasant experience to use the Samsung Galaxy S7, more so because of the refined design. Yes, it does feel quite more solid than before and gone at the chamfered edges, which did dig a little bit last time around. So folks, that was a look at the Galaxy S7. We will be doing a separate gaming review as well as camera review on PhoneBunch, so do stay tuned, do subscribe, thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day.